Do you want to know the number one secret that I've been using for years to develop a strong and confident voice? In this video, I'm going to show you one simple strategy that you can use to get fast results now. Now, before we go there, let me recap what we've gone through in the past two videos. So we started off in video one, I showed you how YouTube videos and random at-home courses are not going to get your voice where you need to be and teach you how to have a strong and powerful voice. And I explained why my singing transformation method works better than anything I've found. I also shared with you how to get started implementing my singing transformation method in video number 2. In case you haven't seen videos 1 and 2, please stop right now and go check those out because we covered a lot of really good information that you need to know. Now, I'm really excited because I'm going to share with you a strategy that has made my life so much easier, and almost nobody teaches this. I call it the number one way to find your full voice in your high range. This is by far one of the most sought after techniques when it comes to singing. Most people don't want to have a light and airy and weak sound up in their higher range, which a lot of us start with. We want to get a strong and powerful full sound up there. So let me walk you through exactly how it works so you can find a stronger, more powerful voice that you'll be confident in today. Now, there are steps to this technique, so we're going to take it step by step. And if you get lost at any one spot, then make sure to rewind, go back and try to nail that step that you're at before you move any further. So just be sure as you're going through this that you're taking it slow and making sure you're keeping up with each of these steps. Step number 1, we're going to go ha, ah. So when you're doing this, what's happening on the ha is your vocal cords are coming together. They're coming together very firmly, similar to if you were to lift something heavy and you go ha. That's the same sort of closure we're getting when we make this sound. Then when we go to the ah, we're releasing that pressure. So make sure, number 1, put a hand on your stomach to make sure your abs are engaging very strongly when you make this sound. So do it again. Ha, ah, ha, ah. You're going to feel your abs engage. And then if you're really nice and loose in your back, you'll even feel your back muscles and your pelvic floor if you're conscious of that. Many people are not conscious of what their pelvic floor feels like, but your pelvic floor, your lower back, and your lower abs are all going to engage. So make sure you're getting that engagement there. So now that you've internalized that feeling and you know what that pressure buildup feels like, we're going to try to sing through that pressure. So the number one stumbling block that people run into at this step is that they go too light and too easy. We want to actually focus on building that pressure, holding that pressure, and singing through that pressure. So there's a lot of a pressurized feel when you're doing this. It's not going to feel loose and limp. It's going to feel very strong. So let's try it together. If we go, ha, ah, can you try that? So it's going to have a really squeezed sort of sound to it, but it's not going to be this. So it's a different type of squeeze than ha, ah. Not that. We don't want a strangled type of sound. We just want a very pressurized, strong sound. Ha, ah. Can you try that again? Now again, it's going to take some of you a little bit longer than others to be able to find this sound. Do not move past this point until you've been able to replicate this exact sound. Because if you're going ha, ah, that's not going to cut it. Or you're going, ha, ha. That's not going to cut it either. You're mixing up the ha and the ah. They've got to be two separate entities. Ha, ah. Two separate ideas. The next step we're going to do is we're going to try to take it a little bit higher. We're going to go, ha, ah. Can you try that? Now we're going to go even higher. But again, if you haven't been able to do it to this point, pause the video. Work with that sound over and over and over again. Listen to what I'm doing and try to replicate it until you're able to do it. Ha, ah! Trying to come up even higher in our range. Now, for those of you that are still with me and have been able to replicate each one of these steps, we're going to Now take this sound and apply it to something that's familiar to you. So I'm sure all of you know exactly how to sing happy birthday. So we're going to specifically try to sing happy birthday quite high in our range without actually saying the words. We're just going to do an ah on the melody. So da 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 da, but we're going to bring it up to da 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 da, which for a lot of you is probably going to be a little bit on the higher range. And if not that line, then the next line is going to be a little bit higher. So what we're going to do is set it up with that ha, and we're going to go for it. So we're going to go like this. Ha, ah. So you're going to notice that it's quite pressurized. We're not going for a really beautiful projected sound. So just try to go about building a very pressurized sound. Don't focus so much on the beauty of the sound. That doesn't really matter. So now we're going to go to the next line. Ha, ah. As you're doing this, make sure that your mouth doesn't start to go wide. We want to think really narrow with the vowel and keeping the jaw quite low. So make sure you get your jaw to drop and make sure that you think very rounded, oval shape with your mouth. So we don't want ah, we don't want that. We don't want any sort of spreading of the mouth. We want a nice drop of the jaw. Try to mimic me as close as possible. So now we're going to go to the next line. Ha, ah. Making sure, again, we're not going for beauty, we're going for pressure and for fullness. So really aim for a loud sound. This is not going to be quiet. This is not going to be whispered. It's not going to be airy. It's meant to be a very strong type of sound. So if you've been following along with me and you've been able to keep up, that high note was the male high C, C5, which is a very, very high note in the tenor range. If you were able to keep up, then I'd like to congratulate you on being able to sing higher notes in full voice. You actually just did it. The next step for you is to start to apply this to other songs that you might be working on. Maybe there's a song that you've been struggling to be able to sing. Maybe there's a song with one high note that's just always been super difficult. Use this process to be able to get yourself to sing that note. Now, I want you to continue with this on a daily basis so that you can keep up this momentum and continue to get results, because this is not something that is going to happen for everybody in one session. It can take 5, 10, 15, 20 sessions to be able to start to get this into your muscle memory and into the way that you sing. If you enjoyed this trick and you benefited from it, then I have good news for you. In my upcoming AM Vocal Masterclass that's going to be released in the next couple days, I'm going to be giving away all of my best tricks. You're going to learn exactly how the voice works and all of the details around that. It's going to be a very comprehensive, technique-focused course. You're going to receive all the theory that you really need to know. I'm going to teach you how to extend your range. I'm going to teach you how to improve your tone. And I'm going to teach you how to find your unique sound and bring out the emotional aspects of your voice and bring out your true artistry through various different runs, trills, licks, and so much more. I'm going to be releasing this course in the next couple days, so make sure to keep an eye out for it. Now, as I found with my previous courses, there's going to be a real rush to sign up for this course, and I can only take a limited number of students for this course because I really want to be able to give the most value to each and every one of you. To get access before everyone else, be sure to click the link down below and join the early bird waitlist. You're going to get access to the course one day before the public if you're on that early bird waitlist. Now, this is going to be the best and most up-to-date training that I've learned over my 14 years and have incorporated into my singing transformation method. In the next video, I'm going to pull back the curtains and I'm going to show you the entire plan from beginning to end of how you can go about developing a confident and powerful voice. You won't want to miss this because I'm going to be showing you step by step everything it takes to go from where you are today to having a strong and powerful voice that you won't be afraid of sharing with others.